Okay, we're continuing with the Torah portion of today. This week we're learning Pinchas. Pinchas, the story of the Jew that stood up and killed the head of the tribe of Shimon because he was doing this licentious activity in front of all the Jewish people, and he became a Kohen. And then, but meanwhile, because the Jewish people had sinned with these ladies, and there was this tremendous catastrophe that like 2,500 Jews got killed, 2,500, 400, they got killed. So Moses said, take another account of the Jewish people, who they are. Let's make another counting. See what it says over here. Yeah, God says, make a war against the Midianites. And then it says, then there was a plague. They made the Jewish people, the men, sinned with all the ladies. A lot of them got killed. And after the plague, so God says to Moshe, here we are. So let's get this here. Count the Jewish people. Here you go. Count the Jewish people. Count the Jewish people. He says, so at the Rosh Bnei Israel, count the number of Jewish people from 20 years and up. Anyone that can go to the army. From this, it implies from 20 to 60. Because that was the age that they went to the army. So they went and they counted everybody. Okay, Vayedaber Moshe ve'Elazar Kohen, Barbos Me'av, and he said, from 20 years old and up, just like God commanded, Moshe, count the Jews that went out of Egypt. Okay, so now we're counting the number of Jews. We're going to run through this quickly because I want to get to the part where they begin to set up the order by which they're going to divide up the land of Israel. Now, Moses did not go into the land of Israel, but Joshua did send him in, and Moses wanted the whole thing to be planned out before. God wanted it to be planned, to know exactly what they're going to do. So it says, count from 20 years up, like it says, anyone who goes all Kudim. Count all the Jewish people. Okay, ready? Here we go. Starts off with Reuven, the firstborn of Israel. The sons of Reuven are Chanuch, Mishpachat Chanuchi, Palo, Mishpachat Palui, Chetzron, Chetzroni, Ha-Chetzroni, the Carmi, Mishpachat Ha-Carmi. This is really totally unnecessary at first glance. What does it just say? The Mishpachat Ha-Chetzroni. The Chetzron. How many people are in Chetzron? What does he have to say? Ha-Chetzroni. The Carmi, Ha-Carmi. Why? So Rashi explains why. Let's start off with Reuven. It says Reuven, his firstborn was Chanuch. How many people are in the tribe of Chanuchi? Ha-Chanuchi. You just say that Chanuch, how many are there? Count them, that's all. What does it have to say that Chanuch? So it says in each one of these names of the children of the 12 tribes that left Egypt, their children, as it says their name, and then it puts a hey in front of it and a yud after it. Chanuch, Ha-Chanuchi. The name was Palu. That was one of the sons of Reuven. Palu, Ha-Palui. Why do that? So it says, because all of the nations, they were making fun of the Jews. And they were saying, these people, they're not Jews. Just like these, what are you trying to say? That these are the tribes? The tribes go according to the families, right? You really think that these children, their parents were Jewish men? If the Egyptians ruled over the bodies of the Jews, they told them what to do, when to work, but to build pyramids or sphinxes, who knows what they built over their towns, it says. Pitom Ram says, if they made the Jewish men do whatever they wanted to, how much more so they've made the Jewish women do whatever they wanted to. So therefore, these children, obviously, they did not have Jewish fathers, they have Jewish mothers, right? So therefore, God said, wrong. Hitila Kodesh Baruch Hu, God put his name on them, and he put a hey first, and then a yud at the end. To say, Me'irani, God says, I am giving testimony, She'em b'nei Avraham avoteyam, that these are the sons of their fathers. And that's what it says by means of David. Shivtei Yud K. The Jewish people are the Yud K, the tribe, the camps, the tribes of God, Yud K, Edul Israel. This name, Hachanuchi, the hey in the beginning, and this testifies on them that to their tribes. In other words, the tribes were only determined according to the fathers. So if these children, their fathers were Egyptians, so they were Jews. A person who was a Jewish mother is a Jew, but he couldn't be attributed to any tribe because his father was not from the tribe. So he says, yes, it was. In fact, the Egyptians did not rule over the Jewish women, amazingly so. Therefore, it says by them, now that's a pretty big miracle because this is the Egyptians. It says the Egyptians were very, licentious people, to use a nice language. In Hebrew, they're called shtufi zima. They were like sunk in decadence. And miraculously, they did not rape the Jewish women. Except for one. There was one lady, Shlomit Divri. And she was the one only one, this is only one lady. Therefore, he put God's name, a Yud in the beginning, and a Hey in the end. Oh, some of them, no, it didn't. Some usually puts the Hey in the beginning and the Yud in the end. And Yemina, he didn't have to say Yemini because it already had a Yud in the beginning and a Hey in the end. Okay, let's go through this a little bit quickly, except for the interesting ones. Reuven, the firstborn of Israel, the sons of Reuven, etc. Chetzron, these are all Reuven's family. These are the families of the Reuveni. And how many were there? There was 43,000, 43,713. Okay, it goes through all of the families. Then we have the subfamilies of these. B'nai Palua, B'nai Palu, Eliav. Okay, from them comes out, or it says, Reuven, Chetzron. Okay, from them comes Eliav. From Eliav comes Numuel and Datan and Aviram. Datan and Aviram, they came from the tribe of Reuven, and they made all the trouble. They were created. Datan and Aviram, the name is going to come up all the time. The Or HaChaim comes up. I don't want to go for the whole thing, but the Or HaChaim says that in fact, Datan and Aviram, they were the ones who really fired up Korach and all the people to go against Moshe. And if it wasn't then for Datan and Aviram supporting Korach, he wouldn't have done it. So they were really the bad guys. And later on in the book of Deuteronomy, we'll see that Datan and Aviram, the whole revolution of Korach is going to be called on their name. So Datan and Aviram, they were ultimate bad guys. The earth, remember, with Korach, the earth opened up and it swallowed them, and it swallowed Korach when the fire ate up 250 people, and this was a big sign for the Jewish people. But the sons of Korach did not die. Oh, famous statement. Some people say, the Ben Ish Chai says, the sons of Korach did not die. Korach, he made a big war against Moses, and his offspring, they didn't die. In other words, every generation there's always people who make a war against Moses. In our generation, there's people that oppose the Lubavitcher Rebbe for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Those that had their reasons is not the Bnei Korach. They had some people didn't like how the Rebbe treated some of the Zionists nicely and treated not religious people nicely. And they've got a point. But there's some people that just, okay, that's the sons of Korach didn't die. Others say no, exactly the opposite. The sons of Korach did die because of his sin, but to his credit, he did not educate his sons to hate like he did, Korach. So his sons, they did not die. And we can see even in Psalms, it says, Lam Natsech, Livnei Korach, and that they were serving in the Holy Temple. The sons of Shimon, etc. These are who they are. The sons of Shimon, Numueli, Yamin, Yamini, Yachini, Zerach, Mishpachat Zarchi. How many people in Shimon? 22,200. God. How many people are in God? And etc. and etc. and etc. These are the number of people in God. Yehuda. Yehuda, there is Erev Onan. It starts way beginning. Erev Onan. And Erev Onan died in the land of Canaan. Erev Onan, do you remember that was with Tamar? They were the husbands of Tamar. They were the sons of Yehuda, Erev Onan, and they got married to, and finally Yehuda, he himself got married to their widow, Tamar, and from that eventually came the Mashiach. Mashiach comes out from Yehuda and Tamar, the relationship between Yehuda and Tamar. Okay. Then we have eventually from that is going to come out was it Boaz, that he has relations with Ruth, and from that comes out, what is it, Oded, and then this, and finally comes out Yishai, and comes out David ben Yishai. Okay, Erev Onan, they die, etc., etc. Good explanations here. You can look it up, what it says, the Or HaChaim. And who are the sons of Yehuda? Shelah, Shiloni, Peretz, Apartzi, Zerach, Azarchi, Peretz, Zerach. Those eventually became the sons, right, of Tamar. And Zerach sticks his hand, and Partzi comes out afterwards, Peretz comes out afterwards, and from Peretz, eventually that comes the Mashiach. Okay. These are the sons of Yehuda. What about Yisachar? Yisachar, who are the children? Tola, Puva, Yeshuv, Shimron. That's Yisachar. How many there are? Zvulun. We went Zvulun. These are the families of Zvulun. Yosef. Oh, now it's going to start getting interesting. Yosef has Menashe and Ephraim. The sons of Menashe are Machir. From Machir gave birth to Gilad. Gilad gave birth to, that's Mishpachat Giladi. Okay? These are the sons of Gilad, etc., etc., etc. There's Asriel, family of Asriel. Shemitah. Now, why are we talking about all these names? Because Moses says to make another counting of the Jews after this plague. The Jews died because they worshipped idols, and they went after the daughters of Midian, of Moab. Shmid. Okay, now we have, here we go. Interesting story. It's Tzlafchad. Tzlafchad, the daughter of Chefer. Now, who is Chefer? Chefer comes from, here we go, Menashe. Right? Menashe. Now, Menashe gives birth to these children, and one of them gives birth, finally, it comes out that one of them is Chefer. And Chefer gives birth to Tzlafchad. And Tzlafchad doesn't have any sons, but he's got daughters. Ki'im Banot. V'shem Banot, and the names of the daughters of Tzlafchad are Machla, Noah, Chagla, Milka, V'tirza. Afterwards, what's going to be when they divide up the land of Israel, so these 5 daughters are going to come to Moshe, and they're going to say, Moshe, listen, you took care of the men, okay. You're dividing the land of Israel according to the men, the tribes. These are all men that we mentioned here. All these people are men. But our father died in the desert. Some people say that Tzlafchad was one of the that Koshesh Eitzim. He was the one that's gathering up the wood. In any case, he died from his own sin. He wasn't among the people that were with Korach. He wasn't with the rebellers. So they said, listen, we want a place in the land of Israel. So Moses had to ask God what to do. And from that, he gets all of the laws of inheritance. Who inherits who, right? If a person dies and he leaves sons and daughters, right? Who gets the inheritance? What if all of his sons die? He only has daughters. Do they inherit anything? So to their great joy, yes, God said, yes, they do. If a person has sons, then the sons inherit everything. The daughters, they have to take care of the daughters, but the daughters don't get any land. But if a person dies and he doesn't have any daughters, that's exactly the question they were asking. What's going to be? And so the daughters inherit. So they were very happy. We'll see that later. Here's Ephraim, sons of Ephraim, Shuselach, and etc. and etc. These are the sons of Ephraim. How many are there? There are 35. There are, 32,500. These are the children of Yosef. Benjamin. These are the names of Benjamin. Dan, Shuchami, Bnei Asher. And it just happens to throw in the name of the daughter. Usually there are no daughters here. There's no women. There's only men. The exception is the name, the daughter, Asher, or the tribe of Asher, he had a daughter, and her name was Sarach. Why is she here? I thought they were only talking about men. It says because she was still alive. As therefore she was men. It says Sarach, she was one of the daughters of Asher. Now, Asher was one of the sons of Yaakov. And his daughter went down with him into Egypt. And she lived for a very long time. And so even after they were wandering in the desert and everything, and after Yaakov, they all died. I mean, the Jewish people had been in Egyptian exile for 210 years. And when they came in, she was whatever age she was when she came in. So there's 210 years. And this is add on another 40 years they were adding in the desert. That's 250 years. And Sarah was still alive. She was still from one of the original ones that went down into Egypt, like more than 250 years earlier. And she's counted over here. Hello, אני הסתתרתי. תודה. מנדי כאן, כן. כן. Naphtali, how many people are in Naphtali? Naphtali. These are how many Jews there are. Grand total, ready? 600. 600. Sheshmeot Elef Aleph. 601,730. That's how many there are altogether. Okay, ready? God said to Moshe, it's all these people you just counted. These are the ones you have to divide the land with. The Mispar Shemos. Rashi, you have to count these. Nobody less than 20. Even though that they came to be 20 before you divided the land up. Because it took, when they went into the land of Israel, they took 7 years to conquer. Shari Sheva Shanim Kavshu, because 7 years they fought against all of the nations that were dwelling in the land of Israel. And only then did they divide the land up. So it could have been that there were a lot of Jews that, let's say, they were only, 15 years old at this time. By the time they finished fighting, they were already 22. Nevertheless, they don't get a part in the land. The land is divided only to the people who are 20 years old at that time when God said to count them. The only ones that got a part of the land were these 600,000 and 601,000, I'm sorry. If one of these people had 6 children, so they only got the part of their father. They had to divide it up into 6. Okay, how do you divide up the land of Israel? How? Very simple. To the bigger portion, the bigger tribe, family, L'Rav, Tarbe Nachlato, he gets a bigger portion. Lama'at Tamidet Nachlato, to the smaller, you get a smaller portion. Ish Kafi Pekudav, Yutan Nachlato. Each person, here we just made a big survey of how many people. So according to the number of people, those are the ones that get of land, the equal portion of land, 601,000, right? Plus a little bit, those people, you divide land into equal portions, right? Well, not exactly. It says over here, but the land will be divided up according to lots. According to the fathers, they will be divided up. Now it seems that the land was pre-divided according to the tribes, and each and every one, each and every tribe, it was predetermined which area they would get. But nevertheless, they drew lots. And there would be in one lot, we'll see in a moment how it goes, but there would be two boxes. In one box, they would put the numbers. Each number stood for a predetermined area of land that everyone would get. And the other box would be the names of the tribes. And someone would pick up one piece of, a card from one box with a number on it, and would pick up arbitrarily a name from the other one. And magically, it would be exactly the name, the tribe that was already predetermined. And it says the cards that were pulled out, they would speak. And they would say, the tribe of Reuven to area number 4. And they would pick up again, the tribe of Shimon. He already knew what it was. It was holding in his hand. So it says, but only according to lots should the land be divided up. According to the names of the families, they should be Apia Goral. Alpia Goral says the Goral itself would speak. Kamosha Parasti, like I explained before. This tells us that it was all divided according to Ruach HaKodesh. It was all done with divine spirit. Therefore it says Alpi Hashem, from the mouth of God. So if so, they have to divide the land up. It says 3 ways. One way was logic. The bigger one got the bigger part. The other one was they drew lots. And the third one was that the lots actually themselves called out how they were going to get. As we're going to explain more tomorrow. I want to go over this tomorrow, but I'm a bit pressed for time right now. So let's do a little bit of Pirkei Avot first.